Hi, my name is Genevieve Villain and I am a remix writer for Pure Magazine. So today we're going to talk about how to distress your jeans. Not just jeans itself, but any kind of denim. So here we have some jeans that I found at my local Salvation Army thrift store. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to mark what you want to distress. You can use chalk, whatever's going to mark on your jeans. I just have a matching marker. So you put them on first, make sure they fit, obviously. I know that I wanted them distressed near the knee, so I'm gonna make a square, kind of gauge where I want. So use any marker or anything that will come off when you wash them. Obviously, if you use permanent marker, it won't wash off as well. So once I do that, let's see, what else do I want to distress? Maybe up here a little bit, not too much. So make your little markings, and maybe we'll do another one down here. All right, so once you've marked off what areas of your pair of jeans that you want to distress, you can decide what technique you want to use. There are various techniques that you can use to distress your jeans or any denim. I'm going to go over them briefly, but we're going to focus on my personal favorite way of doing it. So the first technique is with a razor blade. Get your razor blade and you go over it, and you're basically going to be doing it repeatedly, and you do it. And if you see, you'll notice that it's starting to lighten up because you are kind of raising and cutting some of it. So that is one technique. Not one of my favorites because it does take a very long time to do. So cut this up. The other technique that there is with sandpaper. And you just kind of keep going over it. And you just scrub, 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 scrub. And as you can see, it is lightening up, and you see some of the denim on the sandpaper. Again, not one of my favorites because it does take a very long time for you to finally see that distress coming in. But a lot of times I kind of combine them depending on what effect I want. Now, my favorite way of doing it is you get your scissors. You're gonna fold it up so that you don't cut both areas, both sides of the jean, and you just cut in the middle, you cut it down as much as you can. Cut a little hole, and you just cut. And you cut. You do it in pieces, and you'll understand why. Cut a little hole. And do it again. Once you have that and you're cutting it into pieces, the reason for that being is if it's too big of a square, it's gonna be harder for you to do the next part. Next thing, you're gonna need your tweezers. Grab them, and you are gonna look for the blue thread. So the blue thread usually is going up and down. The white thread goes sideways. It's gonna go horizontally if you're standing up. And so you're pulling it so that way there's only, then you get your blue thread. Now this does get messy. Make sure you keep all your pieces together if you wanna have like a little trash can next to you. Sometimes you may get some white ones. That's fine. You can always cut them away. You can always cut them when you're complete. I'm just gonna keep doing that. Be mindful that it does take a lot of time. It requires a lot of patience to do it. So give yourself some time, give yourself a learning curve to get it right. You keep pulling. So you're gonna do that all the way through for all these sections. Don't forget the end. So you kind of want to distress this part too, just so that it's not like an extremely like straight but this part you're just kind of doing, you're tugging at it just a little bit. You're not pulling it all the way out, but just a little bit. So you do it to all the sections. Now the other thing you don't want to forget is to make sure you distress the pant leg. You're gonna cut right above the crease, right? And this is a lot easier because just following that crease. Watch out for your fingers. And the same thing you were doing for the knee, you're gonna do it again. Just gonna keep pulling at the blue thread and trying to just get as much of it to distress. Now, if you wanted to combine the techniques just to make them a little, give you different things, just show you something different, what you could do is once you have started distressing it using the tweezer, you can get your razor, again, watch out for your finger, and you just kind of go through it, and it will just help speed the process along a little bit. So you can kind of see what it's doing. Or if you prefer to do it with the sandpaper technique, you can grab your sandpaper and just along the end, just kind of put something under it because you don't want to mess up your table. And you can kind of see, so the more you do it as you're pulling, you'll see that eventually your entire bottom of the pant leg is gonna be like distressed. Another technique that you can use, which is also something that I do and I like because it works really well, is with the knife. So you make sure you use a knife with a rugged blade, and you go and you just kind of, and again, watch out for your fingers. And you see that it's already starting to distress your jean. And you're gonna do that until you're satisfied with how distressed it looks. Again, don't be afraid to combine the different techniques. So if you have it like this, for example, and you just wanna start seeing more of the white thread, you can get your tweezer again and just start pulling at the blue thread. What you don't want to forget is to also distress your pant pocket if you want to do that. Now, if that's the look you're going for, you can use the knife technique just to go up against it, just as you were doing earlier, until you can kind of see the distress. Now, once you have your jean complete and it looks exactly how you want it to look, obviously I'm not done. I'll show you guys the end product. If you wanted it to be a lighter jean, this is a dark wash, and you want a light wash jean, or you want that effect, you could get a paintbrush, some bleach, and you dilute it. So don't want to use pure bleach. You just put a little bit, maybe a quarter of a cup, and the rest with water. You get a little bit, and you brush the jean the way you want it, with the effect that you want. You're not gonna see it right away until after you run it through the washer. And if you start seeing it right away, you've actually used too much bleach. So when you do it, and you can kind of already see that it's scrubbing off on my brush here. So once you run them through the washer, you'll be able to really see the effect that it has. All right guys, so I'm gonna finish up my jeans and I'll show you the post what it looks like in all my pictures. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember to pick up your copy of Pure Magazine and to shop at your local Salvation Army thrift stores for rare finds that might cost an arm and a leg at a retail store, but you can find them at a good price at your local Salvation Army thrift stores. Thank you for watching.